Mute this. Hey, everybody! I'm muting my phone and sweating, but look who I brought. Look who's back, all you fucking ingrates.
Hello. I am here.
I don't want to listen. Gino's not on. I don't want to listen. Well, he's back. So I'm just gonna sit here and do nothing. While you listen to your beloved Gino.
Canaanite was here. The Kane community. Which doesn't exist, apparently, is what the problem is.
There are a few. They're passionate, but they're a small minority of the Kane community.
I like Kane. Here's what happened.
You were greenlighting shirts.
I didn't want to do the show. It was like an hour beforehand, and I was like, wow, I have no desire to do this. So I just said, Canaanite, are you available? And he's, yeah, I think so. Cool. Sean, FYI. And then I left. That's actually what occurred, too.
That's a shoot.
I just literally said, Sean, FYI, and left. No, I had things to attend to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's fucking me up?
Personal, private business.
Is that what you said? Because I don't remember how you explained my absence. The dude
I said you were greenlighting t-shirts. That's what I said in the thing. I don't know if I said. Did I say anything on air? I don't think I said anything.
That's what I'm saying. The dude who does the rumors, he's getting a little too close to reality with those, man.
Saskatchewan spinning nerve hold.
He's getting pretty good, dude, because he's like the rumors of Gino being gone for significant otherness. And I was like, whoa, dude. You're hitting a little too close to, because that's kind of the truth, actually. I was too busy.
I don't think I said anything. I don't know. I have to roll back the tape, head back into the vault.
Are you his source, Sean?
We'll have to do what WWE does. You have to give me some bad information and see if it shows up there.
Ooh, yeah, that's a smart, good idea. Although we tried to leak something to him, and then he just disappeared for like a month.
He was probably scared.
And then we actually did do that. And then he came back and never acknowledged it. And anyway,
we were so excited about it too. We actually tested it out on each other to make sure that make sure it doesn't say who it's coming from. So we sent a secret message, and then we got nothing. Thanks, Saskatchewan spinning nerve hold. Thanks
totally
for nothing.
Always put him over and never get anything in return. Sean, it's good to be back though, man.
It's good to have you back, my friend.
You said you missed me.
I did miss you.
I replayed that probably 40 times.
I'm sure. But then I apparently crushed your soul on Twitter. I was just making a joke. I didn't know.
With what?
When you said that I was lying about Becky, so then I said
I heard you. I'm actually a Becky fan. Don't lie to me. I don't have any time for your fucking lies. Okay.
All right, whatever.
No, yeah, but I'm glad to be back. It's good to see you. You're looking lovely.
Thank you. I'm sweaty, but I'm good.
You're sweaty. Sean was dabbing his head with a cloth.
Like this. I'm old and it's hot.
On the award-winning pre-show. And I was like, please do that on the air, because it's just, you're so old. And he can't handle the heat.
I can't. I moved out of Texas to get away from the heat. I did not do my research very well, because Baltimore is a fucking swamp in the summer. So
Baltimore. There are very few places that are actually comfortable year round.
Yes, that's why it costs $18 million to live in San Diego, because it's one of them.
Yep. That's where I'm going to be headed.
Nice.
I'm headed for the West Coast.
That's where Jim Rome is from, isn't it? Isn't he from Diego?
I don't know, but I'm not doing the Rome. People liked it, but I don't care what people think. So we're here for Raw.
Oh, well, we're here for all sorts of things, Gino.
Are we? What do you want to talk about?
Well, do you want to talk about, it ties into Raw because they did the tribute stuff. Do you want to talk about, we got China, we got an NXT title change that happened at a house show. People went fucking ape shit.
What the fuck? Spoiler alert, Sean.
Sorry. We got, is TNA-ing. We got some other stuff, I'm sure, that's happening somewhere.
I wonder if Willow will return. Jeff Hardy and the Matt Hardys and Dad Hardy even.
They've probably got a warehouse full of those black and white umbrellas they need to sell, I bet you.
Right? Remember that commercial?
And now that they moved their offices into the warehouse, they're really making it hard to get anything done, so they gotta run the angle to sell the umbrellas.
They did a commercial one time trying to sell those. Remember that? And Jeff Hardy as Willow. The whole thing was like, you should buy this. It's a great umbrella. And then he just died. That was actually the commercial.
Didn't he have what? Did they sell the skeletons, or did he just do the commercials with the skeletons?
I think.
Man, that was a golden age of TNA. I got to tell you, that was fun.
It was really like they just cut to that voice that I'm doing. That's actually what he did.
That's a shoot. Yeah,
that's
Jeff Hardy is such
normal conversation. I want to get him. I want to interview. I want to hit up Jeff Hardy and be like, I want to interview Willow.
Only Willow.
Willow, how's it going? Pretty good. How are you? My stomach hurts. I need some Pepto-Bismol.
Why would Willow have an upset stomach?
I don't know.
I need background on this. You can't just you can't just improv that. I need to know.
TNA sucks, and I haven't watched it in 3 years, so I can't really even talk about it.
I know, but they're going. I mean, everybody loves it when they go out of business, almost, even though they never will. So
fucking ever. My God.
They might be written by Nazis now, and they're still going to keep going. Alleged Nazis. Sorry.
Yeah. Let's just not go there.
Yeah, we'll just skip that altogether.
So
China.
The China stuff sucks, right? I mean, it's
yep.
super unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, what's there to say? I guess it's just
What did you think of the Raw tribute?
I mean, my thoughts on all of it are just kind of it's so complicated, because it's just you want to honor someone, but there's so much there, right? That it's like we tend to especially when we deal with strangers or people we don't know, we tend to just accept what's in front of us instead of what the reality may be, or a lot of people don't try to dig a little deeper. And she's someone who I think, based on everything that occurred in the public eye, you had to dig a little deeper. And like I said, most people don't do that. So it's kind of unfortunate, because when you don't dig deeper, you kind of just get what they've put out, which essentially is she doesn't exist. She's scorched earth. She's not nearly as important as she actually ever was, and still is to this day. And I'll give you an example. I did not realize, and this almost is sad to say, or it feels bad to say, we set a new traffic record.
Mm-hmm.
We did the day after WrestleMania. We set our record, and then we broke that the day China died in our coverage of that. And it's like, good job on us, I guess, for the coverage or whatever, and doing what we're supposed to do. We did our job, and we, cool. But she's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, had traffic on the level of major events, and they gave her a opening tribute in the form of a graphic and a tribute video that aired in the third hour when no one's watching the show. It just felt like the least they could do for someone who's that important. And I saw some tweets from what's his name, Brian Maxwell Mann, I want to say, so former writer or whatever, but he talked about how she's a great example of corporate inhumanity. Of they just used her, abused her, chewed her up, and when it was no longer convenient to have her around, they pushed her away. That was it. Way too important to the Attitude Era. I mean, too important to Triple H. You want to talk about Triple H? Triple H was a fucking nobody. Like, the Connecticut Blue Blood didn't work. We joke about terrorizing and all these things. You want to talk about what got over Triple H initially? Shawn, yeah. But China, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It was China. It's because he had her for a bodyguard. And they thought it'd be great because, like, are you serious? It's like she is his bodyguard. And it's going to be good for everybody, and that's exactly what it was. Does Triple H ever get to the point that he does without her? I mean, some people would argue no.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure I'd argue against that. And to think that he's in the position that he's in now, and this is the most of what comes of it, just because shit got really complicated with Stephanie and all these other things, it just feels uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to think of. What are your thoughts?
Pretty much the same. I mean, I think I mean, there's definitely. I mean, she's not without blame in where she got to with the company, and that's it's unfortunate. I mean, anytime. I don't think I'm telling tales out of school. I mean, she had addiction issues, and anytime someone has those, it just ends up being sad because there's stuff that they did wrong. There's stuff that other people who just, through no, malice, that just it's really hard to deal with somebody who's an addict. There's always mistakes that are made. I do think. I mean, by the time she'd done the satire porno, I mean, they had to distance themselves. I understand that. But I don't know. I mean, whatever moves they make, I mean, it always feels weird when they start to try to make money off of, Warrior or whoever. This one's going to feel weird times 400. And I think they're already kind of starting that. I don't know, the tribute to me, like you said, to me, it felt like the very least they could have done. I mean, I feel like the reaction that best summed up how I felt by it was, well, at least they did something. Because it wasn't, I mean, a lot of times we get like,
that sucks.
We get the great score, we get a really powerful song, we get narration, we get all this other stuff. This was just like it was an instrumental with pictures of her and like people's tweets. It was like the company isn't saying anything; these people are saying something. It was weird.
In so many ways, I don't fucking get it. I do, but I don't. Like they've deified Ultimate Warrior, a dude who for his views on things when he was alive, you want to talk about a fucking shitbag as far as a lot of the ways he viewed the world.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff. He was all over the place sometimes, but I mean, there's definitely
problematic.
If you want to pull out, I mean, if you want to make the case that at least that he was homophobic, maybe racist, I mean, all kinds of stuff. Yeah,
and that's
there is stuff on tape of him saying things that could easily be classified as that. Yeah.
Yet they've got the Warrior Award. They've just turned him into it's PR. And I get it. I understand the public relations that goes into situations like this. We have to distance ourselves from this person because she's doing these things, and we can't let it affect the company because it affects the company's ability to make money, and it's this and it's all these things. But you know what? Strip that away. She's a fucking person, dude. She's a person. And what has happened here has devastated her to such a degree that her addiction may very well have a lot to do with what happened because of your bullshit. It's like I said,
it's cyclical. Yeah, the things feed itself. Yeah, I mean,
yeah. It just sucks to And then the first person to tweet about it is fucking Stephanie McMahon. How tone deaf can you be?
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, you talk about our traffic too. I mean, I think that's definitely a factor of it because
that's the post that did.
That's the fucking soap opera element. I mean, I think if she had, a somewhat normal life and died early, we would get a lot of traffic and it would be a big deal. But because everybody wants to know, oh, what's Stephanie going to say? Oh, what's Hunter going to say? Oh, da da da. I mean, that takes it to the next level. So I mean,
but we're also not. At no point have we done what we've now been accused of doing with Beyonce articles? And we'll talk about that because I want to cut a promo.
Right.
But at no point did we exploit this.
No. I mean, even in the posts about those things, I think we were very just like, here's the news. And
we could have. Yeah. We could have done all sorts of shit. And it would have went bonkers. That's all they do is they exploit. Is there money to be made? If the answer is yes, go make it. And they don't care. They just don't. They don't care how it looks. They care how it looks in so much as it affects their ability to make more money. Yep. And when you look at it that way, again, you get it. You understand. Business is business, so on and so forth. But we're talking about a fucking person who is now dead. There's no coming back. It just sucks. It just really sucks. Yep. And I felt like she deserved more than a graphic and a 3rd-hour tribute. But that's just what they do.
It is what it is. And WWE is not alone in this. I mean, this is a corporate thing. They just have. I mean, that's the other part of the other layer to this whole thing is. I mean, this is how many of these have we done in the last year?
That's what I was just gonna say.
Rhodes, Piper, Balls Mahoney, Blackjack Mulligan, China. I mean, it just goes, and then that doesn't even count like the indie guys that we've at least that aren't like big traffic things. But hey, here's a guy that died. Here's this. I mean, it's crazy, and that's so WWE. So every corporation would probably do this, but WWE does it routinely because it's a factor of their business, and they are not doing anything to change the fact. I mean, I shouldn't say they're not doing anything. They're doing some things, the wellness program, et cetera, but they're not making these people employees. They're not making sure they have insurance. There isn't like a retirement plan. There's this offer of like, if you ask us for help, we'll give it to you, which is nice. And that's important to recovery in cases of addiction, but it's still not, this is still a business that eats, that chews people up, and it's going to continue to. And it makes it hard to be a fan of it sometimes when you have to stare it in the face.
And it's all self-serving. It's even those tribute packages, but then it gets complicated too when you think about it, because we go, well, she deserved more than the graphic and the video she got. But then when you do that, you're almost assigning a value to someone's life via how people respond to their death, and they didn't give that to Blackjack Mulligan.
No. True.
So it sucks if the Godfather dies tomorrow, we'll get a graphic and no tribute video because he wasn't that important. And you say that out loud, and it's like, my God, that's awful to say. But here we are, where we're like, how do you decide who gets these things? Because they're not giving them to everybody. Because if it was about honoring the person, everyone would get one.
Right.
But that's not how they operate. They give one to the people who are the big stars, who they can be the most visible with. And Warrior was a star, so they created all this stuff when Hogan dies, it's going to be a huge thing. When Vince dies, when Triple H, what I mean? Stuff like that. And it's
it all comes. It comes down to the commerce value, like you said. I mean, the people who get the video packages are the people that they think we want to see the video packages, that they think we're going to tweet the video packages, we're going to share those, we're going to talk about them. It's just, and we talked about this. I mean, this is a bigger conversation, I guess, because every time, like, Prince died, and then it becomes, so then there's a day of mourning online, and then there's a day of backlash to, oh, you mourned wrong and you made it about yourself. And so there's a selling of grief that goes on that, and it depends on what reaction, how much do they think they can sell it. And with China,
part of it's the age we live in.
Yeah.
Because what are you really mourning when you get on Twitter and send a tweet out to your, let's say, 700 followers? Is that mourning? Or is that you wanting to say something that 700 people will see?
And hoping that they'll retweet so that 1,400 people see, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah.
Yeah. You'll get more followers.
We've talked about this a lot lately with the whole, the every fucking house show in the world. So-and-so's injured. It's legit. I saw bone.
Yeah.
Somebody, please retweet my tweet. Please use my tweet in your story. Please. I'm almost certain Eric Rowan is dead. Please talk about this.
That's a bad joke to make at this moment.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I mean, but that's what it sounds like. I mean, it's all like legit injured.
Yeah.
Legit. I saw the X sign. Legit injured.
Yeah.
No, you don't know anything. I mean, sometimes they're right about half the time, but there's a rush to be a part of the show in that way too. It's weird. I mean, I guess, but like you said, it's the age we live in.
It's me. Pay attention to me. Someone look at me. Someone listen to what I have to say. And
people have always wanted that, but now we have these tools in our hands. We have a fucking phone that at any time we can reach a bunch of people, and most of whom we never even met.
Mm-hmm.
So
it has greatly exposed our vanity as human beings. Ooh. Selfies and fucking bathroom. People go to the bathroom and just look at themselves in the mirror and take 10 minutes to find a good angle where their face looks just the way they like it, or their ass is pushed out just properly. Or I saw a whole story on Yahoo about Kylie Jenner and the process of what goes on when she's doing a selfie, and like taking actual time out of her day to take a picture of herself. And that's not wrong. Again, none of this is wrong. You're not wrong for wanting people to pay attention to you, certainly. It's just, again, it feels like it pollutes the intention of, do you want to honor these people? And even then, I guess ultimately it's all self-serving, because you're honoring someone who, it doesn't do anything for them. They're dead. Mm-hmm. They no longer, like, it's the Louis C.K. thing. It sounds bad, but they no longer matter. They're not here. They don't have feelings at this point. They're gone. So now it's all about us, the people who are left, So that sounds really selfish, but and wrapping it all around, it's just so complicated that we couldn't possibly pretend that WWE of all fucking companies would know how to properly handle such a complex range of emotions and feelings and thoughts and all this and that. So for them to so I guess you're right. Ultimately, it's like, well, at least they did something.
Yep. At the end of I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. I mean, they're damned if they do and they're damned if they don't. If they did nothing, they'd get lambasted. And if they made a 3-hour show about her last night, somebody would be mad.
Yep.
So they had to do something. They did it. They're going to make money off of it because they're a for-profit enterprise. And it's just going to keep going. And that's, and we'll continue. Think pieces will continue to be written about whether or not, public social media morning is whatever, whatever. And there's no answer. I don't know.
We're not above it. We're trying to make money.
Hell yeah.
Trying to get them clicks.
Get them clicks.
Before we get to Raw,
maybe
we'll never get to Raw is what's great.
I don't know, yeah.
Well, why did you name this the Clickbait edition, John? Do we want to talk about that?
I just felt, I don't know, we were joking about it on Twitter last night. I mean, I wrote the thing, we were preparing for some backlash, and then, we got a little bit of it, and then we were joking about it on Twitter, and I was joking about it all night on Twitter, so.
Yeah, that's literally.
I call it like the put some respect on it edition, but.
I told Sean in the Cage Side offices, I said, look, we're going to print this, but you need to be prepared not just to defend the content of the piece, but our decision to publish it on its own. Like that will need to be defended, or you don't have to defend it, but I'm just saying that's going to happen.
Right.
And then shockingly, people loved it. They thought it was great. But then there was, I won't call them out. They're cool. I don't have a problem with them. But they're like, I saw this clickbaity title. And I came in I was angry when I clicked in, but actually this is really well done. So they're like, I was all ready to whine about my sense of entitlement, but I have to admit you did a good job. It's like,
I still whine about my sense of entitlement.
Yeah, like, you know what, man? I'm just so tired of the clickbait argument. I posted Marchman's piece at Deadspin on our Twitter. Go read it, people. Yeah, if you've ever cried clickbait, A, you're probably dumb. B, you probably have no idea what you're saying. It's just so condescending and fucking like hoity-toity, like you pretend you know better, like you're the almighty fucking like, oh, this is clickbait. This is just clickbait. It's not this content that I'm digesting for free does not meet my standards of appropriate level of in-depth, fucking blah, blah. Like just that mouth of yours, just close it. Just stop using it. Like
this is like a Chris Jericho promo. I'm liking this.
No, because
shut up, you stupid idiots.
You stupid idiots. You're all idiots. I just because it just bugs me.
I mean, first of all, I mean, I am flattered by the response to the piece.
Dude, it was awesome.
I honestly started thinking about it watching Lemonade on Saturday night. I'm like, holy shit, she is kayfabing the fuck out of this thing. So it wasn't just like, oh, I got to come up with an angle for. That's how sick my brain is. I watch fucking Beyonce and I think about wrestling. So it's not like I was sitting around going, I got to find a way to get hashtag Lemonade on the site. This was actually something I thought.
Like the other person thought.
I mean, but I see that argument, whatever. And I remember. I come to Cage Side. I was a commenter and a fan poster long before I ever got hired and long before I got made full time and everything else. And the reason that I started hanging out at Cage Side is because, to me, what clickbait is, it's when you click on an article thinking you're going to get something and then you have to click through 10 more. I mean, it's those fucking, I'm not naming names, but everybody knows the link posts and the list posts. We don't do those. So it's free. First of all, we don't have a paywall. So go fuck yourself. I mean, how can you whine about something that is free? And that you don't have to click on. If you want to take a stand against clickbait, don't fucking click. It's like, it's not rocket science, people. If that thing got 0 hits, we would never write another Beyonce article. It hasn't blown up or anything. It's done okay. But it's just something that we thought that I wanted to have a discussion about, which is 99% of what we post.
You got inspired.
Right.
You were
even
inspired.
When we post GIFs, or GIFs, however you want to say it. We post them because we have something that we think is kind of funny to say or a question we want to ask. We don't just, look at other wrestling websites that just have a post that has like 3 different quotes from 3 different interviews in it with no other editorial content. You'll never see that on Cage Side, at least not while Gino and I have anything to say about it. So if you want to whine to us about clickbait, go fuck yourself. That's my...
That's what I'm saying. Admittedly, this was a reach for an audience that doesn't belong to you. And to that guy, I was, eat a dick. That's about all I've got to say, man. You don't have to click. It don't cost you a dime to come here. And yeah.
I mean, a lot of people don't. I mean, a lot of our readers don't like Beyonce or whatever, but a lot of them do. I write about comic book stuff sometimes. Most of our readers don't read that, but some of them do. So it's not everything's fucking for you. Just move on.
I guess it's not.
I mean, we write about football stuff. We make football analogies on here. We write about it. If there's a lot of people, I mean, some of my best friends on the site are not like legit, competitive sports fans, but they don't fucking throw a temper tantrum because I made a football analogy.
And every title I've ever written is clickbait. And the reason for that.
Yeah.
The reason for that is I have to get paid. This is my job full time. This is all I do. So I'm here at home where, yes, I like to have a roof over my head. And if I need to okay Sean writing about fucking Beyonce and Lemonade, which I still haven't even watched, by the way. So I don't know what the fuck's up with Becky with the good hair.
I tried to explain it, but you don't read my posts.
I don't listen. So you know what I mean? It's like, and I'll do that. And that's I told Sean too, is that I hope they come. I welcome the confrontation that could come out of this, where people are like, can you fucking clickbait? Yeah, it was clickbait, idiot. And you clicked, you stupid idiot. You clicked, I'm getting paid. It's like that Punk thing, I'm casting the reel.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're 30 minutes in.
Anyway, yeah, I know. You want to talk about Raw?
I've taken to calling us Certified Gino and Bonafide Sean.
I didn't. Did it get over really well? I didn't.
Literally, no one responded to it.
We're on a roll.
We're doing horrible. Like, we released the Cage Side Guy shirt. Not a single person has bought it. No, I don't know if that's true because I haven't.
So let's just blame that on Roman Reigns, though, can't we?
It's actually WWE's like, we'll have them do the legwork. Hey, the catchphrase sucks. It's not. You can't monetize it. Let's just move the fuck on. Oh man, this is a great shirt. Why don't you fucking spend some money then, dickhead?
Well, there's a lot of shirts out there in the world, we don't.
So that shirt didn't get over. Certified Gino and Bonafide Sean didn't get over. My shit isn't worth. You know what I saw?
It's over with me. That counts.
Someone said this show used to be good, talking about CSL, and now it's just Gino trying to get his shit over.
Oh, really?
Well, I'll tell you this, motherfucker. This show has more views today.
I wonder why we're not popular. All we do is shit on our fucking readers.
Anyone who says anything bad, it's like, wait, we got to talk about him. Listen here, fuckboy. This show has more views today than it ever has. So apparently me trying to get my shit over, including the wheeze, works.
The wheeze plays.
I didn't actually ever try to get that over. Let's talk about Raw before we don't.
I'm pretty sure we already didn't, but
we've spent a bunch of time not doing it, my man.
Yep. Well, we talked about the China thing. That was on Raw, so that kind of counts. What do you want to start with?
I don't want to talk about it. There's nothing to talk about. It feels like.
I think the Bullet Club stuff, whatever we're calling it, is still.
Are we calling them Bullet Club still, or what? Do we?
I think they've kind of stopped that, haven't they? Even WWE has. You know what I want to talk about? Before we talk about that, I realized that this morning. There was not one single commercial for Puerto Rico on that show, was there?
There was.
Oh, there was. Damn.
They were flying around, hanging with some ladies, and I think they were in an airport. So apparently they've made their way to the airport, and they are recruiting people to come to Puerto Rico.
Damn it! I was hoping that they just completely dropped that angle.
Dude, me too.
I would mark for that if they just ran those fucking commercials to death for a month and then never mentioned it again.
I hope they show up with a commercial next week where they're like, you know what? Actually, fuck Puerto Rico. This place sucks. Like, we're actually trying to get out of here. We're enticing you to come here to get us, and we'll fucking bail out of here with you. It's bad and dumb and all that's wrong in the world. So yeah, they need to name Gunka and Gallows.
Mm-hmm. They're just Gallows and Anderson. They made him a logo and everything now. It looks like somebody get jizzed all over it, but it's there.
Why is their gear Darth Vader with a gas mask on?
Everything about them, I look at them and it just screams like 90s to me, like retro 90s. That fucking wannabe Alice in Chains song that they're coming out to.
Steve Austin.
It's weird. It's not that.
That level of bald makes me uncomfortable.
What kind of level do you want them to have? Just a little bit of hair?
Well, it's like two dickheads running around. I mean, literal dickheads. That looks like a dick, and the hair on the goatee is like little pube hair on the balls. It's weird.
A really tiny dick, then.
Wow. Well, Gallows is packing some meat.
Well, no, but I'm just saying, if this is the top of the penis and then this is where the pubes are, that's relative to the size of the whole thing.
It ain't the size of the boat, Sean.
It is the motion of the ocean. I just would think that like their balls would be like their knees or their feet, and their whole body would be the shaft, and then their head would be the head.
How do we always end up here on this show?
Hashtag peen.
Peen watch.
Speaking of which, Anderson, I think that thing moves around in there. He's a good candidate for peen watch.
You got on Twitter. Shout out to Celia Bloom for the peen watch. Hashtag peen watch.
I think Anderson. We get no play with Anderson because he wears like the baggy. He's like got on John Cena's hand-me-down jorts,
but he's wearing black.
But Anderson, it's moving.
But he's wearing black, so you're really looking.
Of course, I'm looking. You gotta take Peen Watch seriously.
I'm trying to see some dick.
That's right.
I thought the way they booked them on this show.
Yeah, I was not a fan.
In the tag match, I was kind of surprised by that. They just sort of had a match.
So I have my conspiracy theory about the Shane McMahon era of Raw is that somebody's just going, okay, you can just have your long wrestling matches. And the ratings are going to keep going down, and the crowd was not into it last night. And they're going to say, see, Vince Russo's right. Wrestling doesn't sell, so we're going back to 20-minute show opening promos and everything else.
Russo's not totally wrong.
I think there's a happy medium that you have to go for, but I do think that last night they gave us a lot of like quality, good long wrestling matches, and some of them hit better for me than others.
I don't think you can do that on Raw. That's for the pay-per-view.
Yeah, but that's what they've been doing lately. I mean, like last week we got those two like half-hour long 4-on-4 matches.
Yeah,
I mean, I can't. I mean, I hate to go conspiracy theory, but I kind of feel like this is like somebody going like, oh, this is what the NXT kids like. Let's give it to people. Let's see it doesn't sell. Back to what we were doing. Which
is funny because no, it's not what the NXT kids like. The NXT kids are used to having a 48-second match because the show's an hour long.
Yeah,
and they just
90% of their matches these days are squashes too.
Yeah, they just run a lot of squash matches, and then they do cool shit at house shows. And then, when it comes time to deliver the big long match, they deliver the big long match. It's a good lesson in, the reason the NFL works is because they give you like 8 months of no football at all.
Yep.
And then just beat you over the head with football for 6 months. And by the end of it, you're like, cool, I'm glad the season's over. And they give you that time to re-up. Now, if the season just kept going, football would also erode completely and become we would kill its popularity just as bad as WWE's popularity has been killed. You can't sustain this. It is cyclical in the sense of it's just impossible to keep everyone's attention for this long. Even ours.
Well, and yeah, I mean, the NFL's brilliant in that they've made it so we stop playing football, but we're still going to dole out something to you every month. Now it's free agency. Now it's the draft. Now it's training camp. And but it's different. It all builds excitement. They're doing a better job of promotion,
but it's all
WWE is. Yeah, exactly.
It's not just it keeps the content there. It keeps you there. It keeps you interested. But it
doesn't give you the payoff though,
to
right?
The big thing, yeah.
Yep.
So it would be like if WWE was like, let's keep them there and interested while also building to WrestleMania. And that's supposed to be the idea, but it just never works that way.
But they don't do that anymore. That used to be the idea. They used to hide stuff until pay-per-view. I mean, that was the whole Vince invented like Survivor Series and the Royal Rumble just as a way to keep guys apart until Mania. I mean, that way they could have Survivor Series team matches without having a one-on-one. Now they've got to have 6 matches a week on every show. I mean, Sami Zayn versus Rusev felt like a fucking breath of fresh air last night just because I haven't seen them wrestle 17 times in the last year.
They were all fresh matchups. Styles and Sheamus was good. Well, Del Pino and
I mean, Reigns. I can't believe they main evented with Del Pino and Reigns, but they were just going for that post-match angle.
Yeah, it was all just
which I thought worked, but
oh yeah, that was great. I'm actually we talk about there's nothing to say, but I'm actually I gave the show a B. I'm actually fairly satisfied with what they're doing, especially in regards to the main event angle. I'm really into the Reigns Styles match. What they're going to give us when they actually have the match. I'm into all the angles they can take, and it's the kind of thing that gets my dick hard. You
know, gets my dick hard when somebody does this with their forearm. That really gets me.
They're getting into philosophy, and there's a bit of prisoner's dilemma going on here, and there's a lot of if he's not actually colluding with them, with Gunka and Gallows.
Mm-hmm.
There's a choice to be made that he could, and last night they did a really good job of showing us if he decides not to, it's a very clear route to defeat. But if he decides to collude with them, that's corruption, but it's a clear path to victory. And so now he's faced with a choice. Our babyface has to make a decision against and they're going to be in fucking Rosemont.
Mm-hmm.
They call it Chicago.
Right.
They're going to be there. That crowd, man, we know that crowd and how they like to be. Reigns is probably going to get booed out of the damn building. People get caught up in, are they going to turn him heel? Don't think like that.
Yeah.
Think about the deeper story that's going on here and think about how interesting it is that Styles, if that's the case, and that's the other thing that's cool, if he does align with them, maybe he already made that decision. Maybe he already made the decision that the goal that I've worked my entire life for, the WWE World Heavyweight title, is right there. I've got my 2 best friends right here. They want to help me. I let them help me, and I'm going to win. What do I do? What do you do? It's easy to make the choice when that's not on the line. It's easy to make the choice when you don't have everything you've ever worked for right in front of you. But what happens when you do? That's really intriguing to me. It's very fascinating stuff. I think they did a really good job. And then to satiate the people who don't look that deep into it, there's just a billion different ways they could go with this, and I think all of them can work. Down to Reigns beating him up and pinning him. That works just fine too, because they've built what looks to be a very good match, and it's going to be a good match. And if Reigns is the better man, he's the better man, and that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. I cut you off.
No, that's right. No, somebody posted a GIF of Roman jerking off his fist, and I got distracted.
Oh
as I always do. The layers that you're talking about and the choice and those things, that's a very NXT booking thing to do that they haven't done lately. But I mean, that's what the whole Neville championship reign was built on, that led to Sammy going over and then Owen's betrayal and that sort of stuff. So, they're doing I thought last night was the best they've done so far of building to KO and Zayn too. They actually gave us some background. What happened on screen was compelling. Yeah, it's interesting. I think you're absolutely right. I mean, in Chicago land, Reigns is getting booed, and I think you're right. I think in certain cases the story calls for faces and heels, but where we are with Roman now, like it or don't like it, is that's what he is. The people that love him are always going to love him, and they're not going to give any reason. He's never going to do anything overt to betray those people. They're still marketing him as the good father and all those things. So he's not, but he's going to be a cocky dick to people like Styles, and that's going to get booed.
But he never made that decision.
Right. He's not dishonorable. He's just sort of a dick.
Sure.
So that's where, I mean, that's the reality. I mean, that's sort of, Cena's been sort of doing that. With Reigns, they have to do it even more because the live crowds have decided. I mean, the only time that crowd was awake last night was to boo Roman.
Mm-hmm. No, they were awake for two other times that I can think of.
Well, they were, but they weren't awake for wrestling. They were awake for Jericho and Ambrose got them going, and everybody gets excited about Enzo.
Enzo is a perfect example of Vince Russo's ideas on wrestling.
Yeah.
Charismatic dude who can talk, and you don't need to have him wrestle. You can put him in a 3-minute match and work it out. Do it. If they did a title change next week and put the belts on Enzo and Cass after they worked the gimmick on the way to the fucking ring, it'd be the greatest thing in the world. I don't know that it'd change ratings, but it would get over really big live because that's an act that is built for the main roster. And for, like you said, the reality is we don't want to sit and watch Raw for 3 hours and watch 25-minute matches. We just don't want that. And good as they may be, it's just not the thing that they should be doing.
Well, especially because, I mean, I think even for the hardcore wrestling fans who like to watch people wrestle, you don't want the style of 25-minute matches we get on Raw because they don't lead to anything. Even the people who love to just watch grappling or whatever you call it, they want a payoff to it, and Raw is about not giving you that payoff. It's about 50-50 booking. It's about schmaz finishes because
it's about that payoff.
Right. They're gonna, and they used to tease the payoff by not giving us the matches, but now they're giving us the matches and still they're teasing the finish.
No, they give us the matches and the finish, and then they give us the match again, and then they
with
do
a
it
different
again,
finish, right?
And again and again and again and again and again. And by the end of it, you're like, what am I fucking doing? It'd be like if, your football team just played the same team 6 weeks in a row and you'd go, you know what? I would give anything to watch the Bears play literally any other team, even if they were 6-0 against that same team. You get tired of the shit because it's the same fucking shit. And I love pizza, but every now and again I want a taco. I don't know why that's funny, Sean.
I don't know either because taco's funny.
Tacos are good though. But yeah, so there's a lot of good stuff that they're doing with that. And it is also interesting because Reigns didn't make those choices. Because even though he's a dick, every time that decision has been put in front of him, and we never gave it the gravity.
Sometimes the all needs the one, Gino.
Yeah, that shit's terrible. His dialogue is still fucking bad, dude. Like, who's writing this shit?
I don't even know what that means exactly, but it's
I was watching Raw. I was watching Raw with my girlfriend, and even the dialogue with Gallows and Styles. He's like, Gallows, look at him. He goes, "This friendship, it's forever." And I was like, who talks like that? And she's like, no one talks like that fucking ever. No one's ever said some dumb shit like that. You're totally right. That is the stupidest thing I've ever. Who writes this? This friendship, it's forever.
It's
You don't what are you you gonna give him a promise ring, Gallows? Like
that's what that reminds me of, is like some fucking some like poorly translated like manga or Japanese anime about like two sisters that are friends forever
who are 12 years old and want to express how much they love each other.
So what do you think? So let's fantasy book a little bit then. What do you think's gonna happen? Predictions, call it whatever you want.
Okay. Yeah, you end up ruining it when a bunch of people do that. They're like, so Finn debut. I'm like, please stop.
Well, because we're gonna. The teaser. Just tease people for your predictions post. We do predictions, which is kind of that. I know mine always are a mix of like, here's what they could do, and here's what they might do, and
I probably just preliminary play it safe. Roman wins clean.
Do you? So you think they'll tease out the AJ? Like we'll get more of what we got last night.
I think they'll go somewhere else with it.
Do you think they will?
Even if he joins up with them, I don't think it'll be. I think it's with the way WWE goes. It's entirely possible they'll. If let's say they build a 3-man group, they'll be feuding with the Wyatt family in a month. And I'm not even trying to make a joke. It's just kind of how they are about stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll run into New Day, or I don't know. There's so many ways they can go. They're not putting the title on Styles. We can be reasonably certain of that.
Yeah.
If they want to use this to debut Finn, okay, but it doesn't make a fucking lick of sense. Look, I know that you follow social media, and when I say you, I mean generally to the fans who listen to this show.
Right.
Understand that that's not the majority of fans, and they can't think about you and what you think is the thing because you're not the majority. They have to find a way to make this make sense to the people who've never seen it before, and they even have to think, well, no, there are people who watch WWE who have no fucking clue who Finn Balor is. So if he just shows up, I mean, I suppose they could kind of do. That's why they do the stuff where they reference the Bullet Club. It's not just to like wink, wink, nudge, nudge to the quote unquote inside type people. It's because they need to provide some fucking background to the people who have no clue who these two are. Gunka and Gallo showed up, and everybody's like, think of how many people were like, who the fuck are these two bald dudes? What's going on right now? Why are they attacking Jim and Jay? I mean, you know what I mean? It's just so maybe they'll try to provide some context, but it's to me it seems clear that there's no idea in place for Finn to be involved in any of it. And why would he be?
I don't know. So I think one thing that the AJ Styles showed them is that there is a mark. I mean, I think if Balor shows up with his entrance and his music, I think there, especially if you do it in front of a crowd like Chicago, that's going to know who he is. I mean, I am not predicting that they will, but I think you could coast on that pop and then educate people later, because Chicago would go fucking ape shit if that music hit. Now, I'm not even a big Finn Balor fan, but I would go ape shit if that music hit. It's cool music. It's a good entrance. And I'd be intrigued by what they're going to do. I don't know. I'm not saying they will. I kind of think we're not going to get him for a little while now, but maybe. But I don't know. I mean,
does he keep the entrance if they do Bullet Club like a straight up stable?
I mean, I think if the path to introduce him is he comes in to feud with AJ, and it turns out he's been pulling the strings on Gunka and Gallows, and all of their "we're best friends forever" stuff is a lie. I mean, that's what that felt like to me. Like, I mean, you don't stand. I mean, the only time I would look at somebody and say we are friends forever is if I was planning to stab you in the back a little bit later. I mean, if I lived in a pro wrestling world, if I lived in a pro wrestling world, I think, I mean, every time somebody says that, that's prelude to I mean, that's like code for you're dead.
Wow, I can't believe I didn't think of that elementary level storyline tool. Like we're over dramatically, or like you and I will always be friends.
Wink, wink. Yeah.
Until Sunday, when I'm no longer your friend. And it's like this big, oh my God, you betrayed me. But they couldn't even really do that. Wouldn't be as effective, because while they've put over that they're good friends, Styles has been conflicted about it.
Right, which is what that's weird to me anyway, though, is like AJ is obviously not a very good communicator, because they've had all of these backdoor meetings, right? They go in, come on, guys, I need to tell you something. Don't fucking attack Roman Reigns anymore. I think he's saying we should attack Roman Reigns.
Why did you go Festus and Rastus right there?
I miss Festus because that's in there. I'm waiting for that backstory to come out. They've said that Luke Gallows has been in WWE before, so it's only a matter of time before somebody.
Well, I mean, if your thoughts on wrestling where the opposite goes, maybe they're just overthinking it and going, "I don't attack him. I feel like he wants us to attack him. I feel like that's what we should do right now." And Gunka's just like, "Let's get out there and do it."
Mm-hmm. They just like to fuck people up. So
AJ's a horrible communicator because he doesn't say words. He just takes his hat off and turns it around.
Well, that's because he's got to protect that redneck. No, ain't nobody breaking that redneck.
Oh my God, that's good. That's actually good. I wish I'd thought of it.
See, when did CSL become all about Sean just trying to get his shit in? God damn it!
You're trying to get your stuff over.
The turnaround. Yeah, the turnaround. That was an awkward promo from both of those guys. It's just
he was like trying to look pissed and turning his hat around, and it's like,
and there was a lot of silence, and they didn't really seem like they knew what to do with the silence. And
yeah, huffing and tell you what. Well, I tell you what. And then turns the hat around.
It turns into a warrior promo.
Yeah.
Oh,
and then the Samoans are like, the Usos are like, oh, this is totally up our alley. Oh,
they are Samoan tough guys, though. So
yeah, that's how I said the Samoans. I was trying to call them the Usos. The Samoans.
Samoan tough guys.
That's Samoan tough guys. Bubba Dudley, where did they go, man?
They did there.
I know those guys.
They're done. Remember when we thought they were few? I guess that. Well, they're probably going to come in and screw Enzo and Cass on Sunday. I mean, not literally, but
no, they're maybe they're going to open their legs.
I'd watch. Only on the award-winning WWE Network.
Cass is a tall dude. I bet they want a piece of that.
Mm.
You know who sucks?
Who?
No, hang on. Actually, that reminds me.
Uh-oh. Good times.
You know who sucks? That reminds me. No, wait. So I got 2 responses from famous people last night on the Twitter.
I can't wait to find out how the segue to.
Now, I'm not going to be a mark here. No, I don't know why that made me think of this. There's nothing to do with it. So let's get that out of your mind. Okay. But I'm not going to be a mark, but Tyler Breeze and I are basically best friends now. And I'm pretty sure Renee Young wants to go on a double date. She's going to grab Dino, and I'm going to grab my old lady.
Oh, I thought you were going to grab Tyler.
I would like that, too. I'm probably a little too... I'm not pretty enough for Prince Pretty.
That's true. Yeah.
But no, someone's called him a jobber.
I saw that. I didn't know. I don't know where you came into it, but.
Well, he said, do you even know what that is? You should Google it. And I responded with, dude, I'm way too disappointed you didn't say Googs it. But I appreciate the sentiment. And he goes, he didn't deserve Googs. I was like, oh my God, this man is a god. Because that's really all it takes. Because I'm absolutely a mark. If you just say words to me, I'll fillet. And also, Sean's like, what the fuck?
If you say words to me, I'll fillet. I don't know.
Fillet. Well, that's why we're together. You talk to me.
True.
Renee Young. I said she's the best dressed person in WWE.
Wow. Flattery will get you everywhere.
She says, well, thank you. And smiley face emoticon.
Oh. Better watch
emoji, I guess. Emoji. I'm telling you. The girlfriend was like, I'll cut a bitch, is what I'll say to that. But I was like, no, don't worry about it. Me and Renee, we're a thing. Not a big deal.
Well, Dean's probably going to be incapacitated for a while because he took a Walls of Jericho on the table. So.
On the table. Paige was pissed.
She was.
That's my gimmick, asshole.
Child, please.
It's funny because Jericho actually made it something good. I tore Triple H's quad clean off his bone when I did it to him on the table.
Well, he had to come up.
That's the first clever thing you've said in like 6 months, Chris.
That's not true. He's been owning the Twitter machine.
No, his whole thing. Stupid idiots. You're all stupid. He's like a baby who just learned how to talk, who hates the world.
Right.
So all he can come up with is calling everyone a stupid idiot.
That's a good gimmick.
He's a stupid idiot.
You're a stupid idiot.
So's Dean, actually. That feud kind of sucks.
I liked it. Really? I thought that worked for me. I liked it.
It was good to see Dean be like, I'm not here to fucking, this isn't funny anymore. I'm pissed off.
Yeah.
Get out of this, idiot. And then, Chris comes out. He's doing a good job of working the like reality era too, kind of incorporating like, oh, he's better off for even being in the ring with me.
Yep. Oh, that's it. His whole thing is like his new character, the heel turn is like, oh, I read like the wrestling poop shoot comment threads about me and I say that stuff. I mean, he's talking the burying stuff and like, oh, it's you're better just for having wrestled me and all that stuff. Yeah. He's totally working us.
Trying to give the rub.
Yep.
Comers. He's a subscriber to the Observer.
Mm-hmm.
Or some dumb shit or whatever. And yeah, so he's working that. But he's like just enough of a douchebag that he comes off smarmy and shitty. enough that you just want someone to shoot him into the sun. And so I guess it works in that sense, but I don't know. I'm just not really interested in seeing him around anymore, or I don't really care about the matches he has. I mean, they're good, but, it is what it is. What I do care about, and where I was actually going when I said, who sucks? The Vaudevillains.
Oh, you're mean.
I don't get it, Sean. Maybe you can like, because I said that and then I got attacked and someone, disagreed with me and got wrecked to the moon. They're totally great. What's great? The entrance music's garbage.
Yeah, the music is the worst thing about them.
They look stupid.
Totally handicapped by the music.
They look really dumb. English, I suppose, is a good promo. I mean, it was fine. But you can't tell me this act on its own is going to get over.
No, I don't. I think they've done.
No, yeah.
I know, and I wrote about that when they called him up. I think it's the same thing that happened to Breeze and Emma. It's sort of it's a gimmick that requires some context and some introduction to, and the main roster doesn't really give you time for that. I think they've done a decent job last night and on SmackDown of starting to like be a character and not just a terrible music. And I think the look is fine. There's a history of ridiculous looks being part of a successful gimmick. I mean, Jericho's done it with his hair for his entire career. Whenever he's a heel, he does something stupid with his hair. So they look like assholes, and that they're heels, and that should help them. I mean, the music is horrible though. And I think, I don't know, I'm worried that it's just already too late that they came out for a couple weeks with no build up at all with the horrible music, and people have already turned on them. I think they've started to do some okay things. But yeah, the WWE main roster is not a place for these sort of, kind of different gimmicks. People say they want something different, but they don't really. They don't. So yeah, I'm not optimistic. I think they're going to I think they're going to win on Sunday. They're probably going to lose a title shot, and then Vince is going to say, "See, we tried with them," and then they're going to Superstars.
Yeah, I mean, a strongman gimmick is horribly uninteresting. A 1890s gimmick is not something I want to see in 2016. It's just not. But I will admit that, like Eva Marie, they're going to get over in the sense of I so badly want them to lose to Enzo and Cass.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm interested enough that I'm going to watch and be really pissed when they win, and they're going to win.
Mm-hmm.
They have to win.
Yeah, they don't want to give away Enzo and Cass versus the New Day now either. I mean, that's
because when you have an act like Enzo and Cass, they don't need to win.
Nope, they never won in NXT. Villains are former NXT tag champs. Enzo and Cass are not, because they never needed it.
You just keep fucking them over.
Yep.
The Vaudevillains, you do have to win.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to piss everyone off. So it's either you like them and think they're good, that's fine, but it's still going to be enough to service where I'm coming from, which is they're complete trash. It's the gimmick sucks.
I mean, I think it's kind of like it's not that different from a Damian Sandow intellectual savior gimmick. I mean, we're old timey, and old timey is better. And I think you could do a thing with as pissed off as people sort of get about, like, Brooklyn hipsters who make their own jam and shit these days. I think you could work a gimmick where those guys that you wanted to see those guys get murdered. I don't know that they're going to get enough time to get that over though. Gotch is a funny fucking dude. I don't know if you follow him on Twitter. He's hilarious. But last night they didn't even let him talk. As soon as he got the mic, they switched to, then they got cut off. So, I mean, I am not optimistic about the gimmick. I don't think it's trash, but I don't think it's not, they're not going to get a chance to make it work on the main roster. For the main roster, you got to be Enzo. I mean, I think, Corbin's doing pretty well for himself, although I'm a little bit worried he's going to lose on Sunday because they just do stupid shit like that.
You know what I saw in the threads?
Mm-hmm.
Someone said, "I shit you not." Cass has really gotten worse on the mic.
From when?
Cass of Enzo and Cass, that guy.
Mm-hmm.
The entire thing is just to spell a word poorly. He's gotten worse on the mic. What the fuck are you talking about? All he does is like he's a supplementary. He's a what's word? Good compliment to Enzo.
Yeah, I mean he's the straight man to Enzo's goofball, and that's and sometimes sometimes he nails line. I mean he's said some of the funnier things on NXT where he'd like Enzo will rant for a while and Cass will just have a one-line reaction or a one-line insult, and it's better than anything Enzo said. But yeah, I mean he's never going to be. I mean Enzo's there to carry the weight of that. Cass is there to be tall. That's it. That's his job.
Enzo when the time comes.
Yeah. Which is a factor, which is a shootout of him being tall. So that's his job is to be.
I'm not even talking shit. They're a great act.
Yeah.
They're awesome together. I don't ever want them to break up. They're gonna and Vince sees, I'm sure, that dude's a star. Cass he's big. He's got some charisma to him. But he's got a little Big Andy in him. Yeah. I think. But he's much better in pretty much every conceivable way. So there's potential there. I'd push that guy, and especially with Enzo. And Enzo, my God, dude, saw someone Brandon Howard, I want to say on Twitter, said probably the most charismatic guy in WWE since The Rock. Can't say I disagree, and it's actually more impressive because he's like 4 foot tall.
Yep. But he's another guy who he knows he's short, so he's made his fucking look so outrageous that you can't ignore him. Yep. I mean, that's smart. That's he gets it. And he gives credit to Dusty for helping him with that, but it's, yeah. And, it is. I mean, he can trash talk or the fucking, I want to run into my own arms on the beach. I mean, that's fucking brilliant. That's new too. I mean, I know a lot of his stuff is recycled from NXT. That one was new. He has more than just the intro. It's pretty fucking impressive.
Yeah. Oh, it's new for his act. I thought you were like, it's a new, like that's.
No, it's new for his act. Right. He hasn't.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I'm not saying he's making it up out of the blue, but I don't know. But with his delivery, even though I've heard it other places, it still feels he does it. He nails it. I mean,
he is so totally unique in a world where everyone looks and sounds the same.
Yep.
It's great. It's fantastic. And New Day were so into the gimmick that it was really fun. It might have been the most fun thing on the show. Just that little one segment with those 3 teams. So we agree Vaudevillains are going to win, and they're not going to win the titles, probably.
No, but I think, they don't at this point in New Day's turn towards being like fan favorite face of the company guys. They're not losing to. They don't want to put them up against Enzo and Cass, and they're not losing. So,
it's so funny because we're like, no, you got to save that, and it's like, but it's this company. So it's like well, if we put them together now, we can run 8 matches before SummerSlam. That's a great idea. We've got a whole program for the summer.
Oh, Jesus.
What else was there?
This fucking company. So what do you think about, so we agree that we don't think, do you think Sammy flipped anybody off?
Man, what a world.
Like people were like, I mean, you brought it up last night when I saw people still talking about it on Twitter this morning. I'm like, that's clickbait. If anybody wants to know what clickbait is, that one is fucking clickbait.
That is the
I threw that shit together in 5 minutes. I worked like for 2 days on the Beyonce thing, you motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's what's funny too. Is you ask these people what clickbait is, you'll get a different answer from all of them.
Yeah.
You know what that means? None of you know what the fuck you're talking about. But yes, that's probably the closest we could get to clickbait, or the Conor McGregor stuff.
Yeah.
That shit's basically clickbait. I mean, as soon as there's a pro wrestling tie-in, go.
Yep.
That's essentially all it is. It's as soon as we can tie pro wrestling. And he followed Stephanie McMahon. Yes.
Thank God for Sheamus yesterday. Got us the second one out of it, just with his little shithead tweet.
Yeah, shithead. Love that. What did you ask me?
Do you think Sammy flipped off Lana? Or how much did you love it when Lana threw her shoes at him?
Lana was
throwing. You can answer either question. Or both.
First of all, I thought it was a good match. A big fan that Rusev is he's getting himself into some pretty damn good shape. His thighs are looking great.
I don't like the boy show. I don't like the little bit.
How dare you?
I don't like his thighs are too massive. They distract me. I need those to at least be a little bit covered up. To have them completely naked and in front of me, I can't focus on anything else.
You get a hold of yourself.
The 2 most impressive sets of thighs in the world are Rusev's and Serena Williams. I can't. She has to cover them up sometimes, or I'm.
I would also like to. I would also like to put up for consideration Randy Orton and AJ Lee.
Those are different kind of thighs. These are just like, holy shit, how are those possible in this universe given the laws of physics?
Good point.
AJ and Randy are just like sexy thighs. A lot of people have sexy thighs. Rusev and Serena have like those should have like their own, like those things probably fuck up like black holes.
Fuck up black holes. So if we ever get in trouble out in space,
right,
call Serena Williams.
Exactly. Send Rusev and Serena Williams in matching rockets to pull the gravitation. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Why do they have to match?
I don't know. I just like synchronicity.
Synchronicity. Good job saying that word.
Thank you.
Lana threw shoes. That was cool. Fun. I liked it. I mean, it's just.
I don't know.
Sammy looked legitimately shocked. Like, did this fucking woman just throw a shoe at me? And then she's in the crowd, like yelling at him, taking her other shoe off. I thought that was great. Did he flip her off? I totally missed everything that happened initially.
Right.
And the only reason I knew that something happened was because 84 fucking thousand people tweeted at me. Did he flip her off? Like, something tells me no. Because I doubt he wants to go back to Gorilla and have Vince punch him in the head.
Right. Only Vince is allowed to flip people off on TV.
Yeah. And even Vince, like, tried to hide it behind his hand. But the camera caught it. Apparently, as maybe a rib, or I don't know, or they didn't know that his crazy old ass was going to start flipping fans off.
Probably that.
That's almost certainly that. I doubt. And people are like, "Well, it went black." The picture you put up, it looks like it's his index finger.
Yeah, I think he's doing like one of these, or I don't know.
Yeah, you got a 3 count.
Yeah, it's a weird angle. Yeah, and he's too smart of a guy to think, oh yeah, you know what this needs for me to flip off a woman.
Yeah,
that'll go over big in the PG era.
Yeah, and it's totally against what his character is.
Yeah,
and seems like what his character is as a human being, even outside of it. That's to assume, I guess, maybe that he didn't know that Lana was going to throw shoes at him, and then got actually pissed and just. He's not Randy Orton out there calling people stupid. That could be interesting, though. Would make his character less bland for sure. Oh boy, come at me, motherfuckers!
You didn't enjoy Sammy. I mean, last night was sort of the quintessential Sammy experience. He got his ass beat for about 15 minutes. He came back and won. He was distracted by something somebody did, and then Kevin Owens murdered him.
I like
Sami Zayn in a nutshell.
Yeah, I like the way he dies in matches.
See?
And he's dumb as shit.
Yeah.
That's Sami Zayn. Yep. And he makes you root for him, so that's cool. Yeah. I don't think that's getting over on the main roster as much as it ever did in NXT. But
it's too early to tell. I think they took, for me, they haven't. Last night they took some big steps to telling that story and not just counting on us to already know that story.
Awesome promo.
Yeah, so that was really good. I mean, Owens is a fucking genius, that whole thing. If anything, I'm the victim here. I mean, he's a fucking sociopath. He's glorious.
A total sociopath.
It's glorious.
This Sunday, I'm going to stop being the victim and stand up for myself. I'm going to take him down. It's like, man, what'd you say on Twitter? I think he has borderline personality.
I think he does. That's yeah.
I dated someone with borderline personality disorder. I think you're dead on the money.
My mom has it. It's a fucking nightmare.
Does she really?
Yeah.
It's one of those, it's hard to diagnose, and how do you find the right medication? And mental disease is a real big problem in this country.
Yep.
So we shouldn't joke about it, I guess. But he's
that's the kind of stuff that the weaving his way into like a victim position is based on. I mean, I didn't make that crack out of nowhere. That's based on my experience dealing with somebody who has that disorder. So anyway,
yeah, he's absolutely a sociopath.
And I think, and that's how smart he is that he would research it and figure out how to work that into his character.
Yeah, because and it helps too because you can clearly see that he had to do some mental gymnastics to reach that conclusion. Yep. And so it makes it clear that while he seems to he gets across well that he actually believes it, you as the fan, he's utterly full of shit.
Yep.
And you hope he gets his ass kicked and all that and the other thing. That's the thing about Sammy's character. That's a problem with it. Is I want Owens to get his ass kicked, but like Sammy's not an ass kicker. Is that a problem, you think?
I mean, you gotta. I mean, you have to build to it. I mean, that's the thing that they've always done is that no, he's not. But then when he gets there, it's sort of like scary because, oh shit, he just made this even keel guy lose his shit. So
yeah. Well, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think it could. I mean, it's a bit of a tricky tightrope that they're walking, and I'm not entirely thrilled that they're going one-on-one already. But I guess this is the angle to get them over. So. I'm cautiously optimistic. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I think it could fall on its face. I mean, it's Sammy's character, so it'll be interesting to see.
What I think is funny is their whole thing is they've been fighting forever, and they're destined to fight forever, and they've already had 1 million encounters, right? And everyone's like, they're doing it too early. I don't like that. I don't like that they're already going to it. What do you mean? Like, isn't this the whole thing? This is what they do. Didn't they? The fucking first night he got into NXT, didn't he attack Sami Zayn?
Yeah.
Didn't say it then, did you? What's the problem?
I might have. I don't know. I have to go back and look.
No, you didn't. You gave that show.
Probably too busy marking out.
The first NXT show you gave an A+ to, and it was in large part because of that. So I guess, and I'm not calling you out specifically. This is
no, it's fine. I mean, it's fair. I mean, like I said, I don't know that. Like I said, I don't blame them for doing it. I don't know. I'm a worrier. It's why my friends call me Whiskers.
That's true. It ain't their first main roster encounter. It surely ain't going to be their last.
Nope.
Is it going to be their most memorable? Of course not. It's on a Payback show, but it's in Chicago. It's in the right place. This card, low key, looks amazing.
Yeah,
don't ever let me use low key again. But this card really does look really fucking good.
Are you talking about former NXT winner Caval?
No, I'm not.
Insider. Yeah, I was getting ready to send out the match preview assignments to people who haven't big timed me and said they don't want to do them anymore. And I was looking at last year's Payback card, which was just a fucking dumpster fire compared to this year. I mean, it's
abysmal.
It's ridiculous. It's like fucking Jack Swagger and shit.
Why did we even cover this show?
Man, it was weird.
You know what I hope doesn't happen? I hope Balor doesn't show up because I just
want to keep doing the Balor watch gimmick.
I want Finn Watch to last as long as possible.
Clickbait.
So that is also clickbait. Total clickbait, dude. Like, it's just, you know what it is? It's funny because it's not clickbait because the reason, again, clickbait has no fucking meaning anywhere. So
right.
God, stop using it, please. But I'll use it in this instance. In that we've never posted so stuff like that is not like I'm going to post this just because I know it's going to get hits. And I'm going to do it in such a way that I'm going to entice you to click so it'll get a hit even though I know there's not content worth seeing. I just was inspired by someone on Twitter at McNarnia, who is a huge Finn Balor fan, who's nuts about Finn Balor.
Are they a huge Lion the Witch of the Wardrobe fan?
Apparently.
Okay.
But the whole thing, and a long while back had said something about Finn Watch. And I was just inspired with all these fucking rumors and his fucking rampant social media trolling that this is what we should do. And let's just distill it into its simplest form. Here's what it is. Here's the show. Did he show up? No, he didn't. Bye. And that's the whole thing. When he finally does show up, it's going to be, here's the show. Did he show up? Yes, he did. We're done here. That's it. I can't fucking wait.
I know you don't. I know you don't watch Japan, but
it's a huge country. I can't.
It is. It's a lot. There's a lot to take.
Too big.
There was a gimmick Twitter account last year for Hanma that was did Hanma win, and there was just after every show it'd be no, and then he finally won one. And I think they shut the account down after he won. So there you go. Yeah. Yeah. Or they changed it to something else, but yeah.
Like Deadspin's doing something like that with the Cardinals, where they're like, the Cardinals have lost their 9th game. The Cardinals have lost their 10th game. Like every game they lose, they just revel in it because fuck St. Louis fans or something like that.
Yeah.
I love shit like that. Shit like that's fun, and that's the other thing. It's fun.
Exactly.
Like, you don't, Sean was inspired by Beyonce and decided he was going to write something about it.
That's Queen.
Turned out to be one of the best things that's ever been written on the site, as many others have said. And
oh my.
Yeah, that's it just sucks because it's like, like, why would you make a note to go in and be like, I was going to be real mad with the clickbaity title. It's not even a clickbaity title. It's literally how Beyonce.
I said what I was going to tell you, then I told you, and then I got out. It's like, it's not. I didn't promise one thing and then talk about something else. I didn't trick you into reading about Beyonce. I made it very clear that if you clicked on this, you were going to have to read about Beyonce.
Clickbaity in its original form, as I remember it, was top 10 craziest fishes that have killed humans. You won't believe number 7. And it gets you.
And I would click on that, no doubt. No doubt. I have to know who number 7 is.
There's no fucking way I'm not clicking to number 7. And I get it on number 7, and it's fucking Nemo or some shit. And it's like, God damn it, they got me again. So if you want to go into an article and complain about that, cool. Maybe you should. But no one made you click. You didn't pay for the privilege. Like, fuck off.
Oh, shit. My stomach hurts. Oh. Now I need my sweat rag for my tears. I'm crying. Top 10 fishes that have attacked humans. You won't believe number 7. Oh, that's our next shirt that no one will buy.
Yeah, and number 7 is Nemo and shit.
Oh, that'll be on the back. Number 7, Nemo. Oh shit! All right.
But then for Sean to be like, how Beyonce used pro wrestling tricks to sell lemonade, and be like, this is an outrage. I'm going to fucking say something right now. Let me click into this clickbait so I can say something about the clickbait.
We win. The terrorists win.
Thanks for the
what else do we have to talk about?
Nothing. It's
you got any witty finishes we should try to work our way up to? Did we miss anything? Cesaro and Miz, do you want to talk about them? Miz is a dickhead. Cesaro's a badass. Maurice doesn't wear pants. She doesn't. What bothers me? She's like Randy Orton out there. She wears like a fucking suit coat and she's like a showgirl, I guess.
He's gonna swing them both at the show, right?
I don't know. Probably not.
I don't know.
That seems wrong.
I really don't know if he's gonna do it.
That seems mean. We should just do it. You ever watch Jim Gaffigan stand up where he does that like his inner monologue voice?
Yeah, he does.
Oh my God, what does that mean? I'm gonna have some Hot Pockets. Please don't eat those. Oh shit!
Oh, the top 10 fish who killed.
That's how fish that ever attacked humans.
You won't believe number 7.
Oh shit! I'm gonna write that post this afternoon.
Yeah, or how would we even do? What would we do with that in wrestling? What's a wrestling thing we could do?
I don't know. Well, I mean, yeah, you'd have to do. I don't know, nothing, because you could do like top 5 people that have beaten John Cena, but that's not that exciting.
You won't believe this list actually exists.
That's like, yeah. I mean, you could do. I mean, a lot of sites do like the top 10 hottest women in wrestling history.
And I'll do a top 10. I've done multiple top 10s with Celia Bloom, and we're gonna. But at least when you click on them, I
mean, the reason I like those is when you click on them, you get all 10. I don't have to click 17 fucking more things and get pop-up windows and everything else.
Yeah, we're not like deliberately just trying to get you to click through so that we'll get more impressions on the site.
Ooh, insider language.
Drive our page views up. Yeah, don't talk about impressions, Austin Aries.
Yeah, fuck you, man.
You don't know anything about traffic.
Until you walked a mile in my shoes, man. My 15. These shoes cost $750 each.
Yeah, you don't know nothing about chorus. Oh yeah, that's super inside term.
It is. I don't know anything about chorus.
You know what, Aries? Why don't you googs it?
Googs it. I don't know. Was I supposed to sign out there? God,
why didn't you? Oh my God! I just.